Welcome to South Harmon. Welcome to South Harmon. Hey, welcome to South Harmon. We glad you here today. Another AMA. Ask me anything. Super chat is cool if you wanna pay to play. Like and subscribe, that's what we really appreciate. Let me introduce you to the tear down king. Mike McNutty, ask your questions, he'll answer anything. ATM, you know Adam put them graphics on the screen. Glad you tapped in now, stay tapped in for the team. Hey, everything is posted. Go follow the socials. South Harmon FF tag us if we get noticed. Welcome to South Harmon, we glad you here today. Welcome to South Harmon, we glad you here today. Another AMA. Welcome to South Harmon, we glad you here today.
What's up, you beautiful people? 'Twas the night before Thanksgiving.
And all through the house.
My stomach
Not a creature was stirring. Not even
only ate him out.
Saquon eating every mouse. The
What's going on,
Saquon
everybody?
goat,
Wednesday
man.
night AMA. Adam popped up out of nowhere. He wasn't here, and then poof, boom. He back.
Listen, someone's got to be your magic man, you know?
Magic man, I'm already like 2 bourbons deep. This is gonna fucking go right off the rails. I ain't got
The reason you couldn't see me, my God, I'm gonna have to probably piss at some point during the show. I didn't even get the piss yet. I had barely got my drink. I'm ready to drink, baby. But with you, I'm always behind. I'm catching up, you know?
I can always vamp. Hope everybody's doing good. Hope everybody has a great holiday. Adam, I have a date tomorrow morning, bright and early, with a turkey.
Nice. That was a bad gobble out of nowhere.
Yeah, this been a process, man. I started brining it on Sunday, 48-hour brine. Pulled it out 2 days ago so it could dry a little bit, make that nice crispy skin. And then when I got home from work today, patted her nice and dry, a little duck fat spray, rubbed her down in my favorite barbecue rub, and tomorrow morning she goes on the smoker.
You gonna smoke her? I like that.
Yeah. Smoked turkey, man. Should take about 4 hours, but tomorrow morning, early, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, right, Fizz?
Hey, man.
We're gonna have some smoked meat.
I'll tell you the truth. Listen, I'm never gonna say no if Mike's not just cooking, but putting his best foot forward, putting the effort in. I'm thankful to even be eating, let alone some good Mike extras, Speaking of eating,
one thing I do well.
Go ahead.
With the cooking.
Oh, and I forgot the chain. I was gonna put the Saquon on.
Damn it! You got
it's all right. I only got Jameer.
It's the same number.
It actually is. Good call.
Both fucking awesome.
Hey, yo, is that you? Do you hear that little noise?
No, we got one.
It sounds like a little gobbler.
Gobbler.
I legit thought like you either had a sounder or like you doing something with your glass or something. That's hilarious.
No, just me. But I got the Bo Nix in today. Oh, made the chain. Untuck the chain. You know what I mean? Untuck
the chain.
Bo's here. Live and in color. Let's go. I'm glad I went with the white too. The white's fresh. The rest of the jersey. I mean, their jerseys are basic as fuck. Their marketing department did a terrible job with their fucking jerseys this year. Let's just be honest.
Are you surprised? Like, I will say though, what was surprising to me, because I was looking too, just in general. Because listen, even though I wasn't clamoring for the guy, all right. I mean, DB was. Let's just say this, talking directly to me to no avail. There was nothing he could do talking to me initially, right? But, Mike, when how do I put this? When he's good, he's good. I mean, I might be late. Then Mike joined him. I was not really on board outside of what cost. So that's where I got my shares. You can't deny the undeniable. But Mike, I'm looking for I'm like, all right, but you got the retro, right? You're gonna get that blue or like. We're going the wrong way here, guys. I don't know if you know this. Outside of your team, the jerseys are going the wrong way.
They're fucking junk, man. They're junk. We can't let them off the hook. They fucked this up. They fucked it up terribly.
We let him off the hook.
Pretty bad. They let him off the hook. I got to look back, too, because I don't know if people really believe me, but May through June, rookie ADP, had him.
Second round. Late first. Yeah.
201, man.
Listen, I miss on a lot of stuff, but not on where guys were going in the rookie season now. Come on, you know.
201. Ladd, Brian Thomas Jr., Jonathan Brooks, Xavier Worthy, Brock Bowers, J.J. McCarthy, and Drake May, all ahead of Mr. Bo Nix.
You know what's funny?
What a class, though.
You know what's funny, Mike?
Class.
Oh, what a class. Well, listen, I'm going to save that point for another day. Every now and again, like, you just have that's like when we do content over here, right? For me, a lot of it is, and it is that way for you too, right? It comes from a place of like playing the game, passion. So some random conversation we'll have, like, this is what I think makes at least you and I have a fun. It's like what you just brought up. I'm getting ready to go to another point, and it's like I don't know if we need to go down a crazy rabbit hole just yet, you know. But you're always thinking of random shit as you're talking back and forth. But what I was going to basically say is that the value installation, a lot of classes after the class is over, oh man, what a fucking class, you know, like, hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to your point, it's not all the classes, and this class does look hella good. But we're going to keep on dancing. If you know, you know.
Keep on dancing.
This was the biggest point, though, with Bo Nix for me, and even as a guy that was like, and I know you were too, but he eventually got the draft capital. We weren't the biggest believer of the talent. But at a certain point, it's like, okay, they drafted this guy. And even though there was a lot of signals for me, which were like, the community already hates him, so he's uphill, right? Going an uphill battle. Then you had, hi, Cortland Sutton. Hello. But none of us were very interested in any of their weapons, right? And here we are. But where we are now is what it is. But the point is, there was a very clear distinction for me where it's like, okay, after about you get out of the Roma Dunze conversation, there's just these other receivers. It doesn't make sense to take them, because if we're talking about like the risk and reward here, right, of those prospect profiles, like just being as player agnostic as we can with the profile we have and the draft capital that we have. There were some guys that went to really sexy landing spots, and I think that always will be something that skews the community. Keon, hello. Xavier, hello, right? The primo landing spots. Brian Thomas Jr. had a pretty solid little landing spot, and he's done well. But right now, Mike, if you're telling me right now, you have to take, this is a bad question for you. I'm going to ask the audience because we already know where you were going to go beforehand. Right now, you got to take Bo Nix or Xavier Worthy straight up. Bo Nix or Brian Thomas straight up. Bo Nix or Ladd McConkey straight up even. Bo Nix or Keon Coleman straight up. At best case scenario, you have a debate. And the reality is you're probably taking one side of all of those.
Bo Nix.
Right. Well, again, that's why. Sorry to steal your thunder. We all know where you were going. We knew where you were going in May. Okay. This dude took all the shares of Bo that the worst part was like I did actually get him at the 203-1 league, but I play in, God, I don't even know what it is. It's got to be 60% of my leagues, if not higher, right? Are with the McNuts. I just figured out what it is. By the way, there is a fucking crazy sounder. I think Ecan might have put this in here. It's just super faint. Anytime a comment's coming in, it's like this little faint gobble. It's the weirdest ass thing.
There it is.
Did you hear that?
Bubbles.
Did you hear that?
Bubbles.
Dude.
That's wild.
I was thinking I was tripping for a second, Mike. I'm like, that's not you? Okay. All right.
It is.
But
that's how you keep on top of the chat, right? There's a little bubble. Sounds like I don't. You get it on iPhone for sure because I've heard people text message their shit. When you're sending messages, the weirdos who leave those sounds on. All right, first off, turn that shit off. Nobody wanted to hear that. Well, not even you. Right? Turn that shit off.
Yep.
But I was gonna say, like, this is like the sound that like WhatsApp makes when you're in like a chat room or whatever, like janky ass WhatsApp.
Not the WhatsApp. Nice, dude. Mike, I was beginning to look around, like, what the hell is going on in here? Like, I thought it was Halloween all over here. I'm like, what?
No, we're good, man.
I figured it out. We're good. Now I just know. I know I need to go down there. No, but I think with that was again. I told you I wasn't going to do it, and then we ended up doing it anyway. Wasn't meant to be a side tangent, but talk your Bo Nix shit because, man, this guy's he's getting high up there, man. He's getting high up there, and this whole class, to your point, is looking good.
So there's one of the cool things that I like to know. Right now, Bo Nix, in just a generic league, is a 1.21 warp, right? 7th quarterback overall for him. Koopa put in that awesome rookie warp on the multi-year warp. And historically, right now, a 1.21 warp would be the 9th best rookie in the class, right? 9th best, like almost right on the nuts. Here's the wild thing. That warp number I gave you for Bo Nix is the total number. And there's 5 fucking weeks left in the season. 5 fucking weeks in the season. So honestly, if you look at like rookie warp in the multi-year graph, Bo Nix has a realistic opportunity to probably be like the 4th or 5th best, like average rookie that we see in a rookie class in multi-year warp. And that factors in their first 3 years, right? Like that's fucking insane. It's really insane.
That is crazy.
He's doing.
Damn.
He's doing too. And then you talked about Brian Thomas and Ladd McConkey and like all these other guys having pretty good seasons as rookies. That's also why I say like we do this, at the end of the like, man, this class was actually pretty fucking good. And then, time takes its toll and people fade in and fade out, whatever. Injuries happen, regression happens. But Adam, I can honestly say when we went into it, I was like, this is probably the best rookie class that we've ever seen. Saying that back in January or February, whatever the fuck it was.
Well, it was. I mean, you can actually point to, if you look back, the quarterbacks were going later to the point you're making about Bo, but overall, the value of the class in the high end was great, but we hadn't seen those guys to the point we're making and talking about some of these players, the late first, early seconds, that were all hanging around like top 8, 9, 7 draft capital and startups. That's a value cream job, man.
I don't remember a time in my Dynasty career too where you've had this hype around this class, right? And it's actually delivered on that hype and probably exceeded it, to be honest. So, best class ever at this point in the season? Fuck yeah. I mean, Caleb Williams, up and down, but we've seen more good than bad. Holding Dynasty value relative.
It feels like that. I'll tell you, you're not wrong, but I feel like, well, let me say this. I feel like after a week like that, we've seen more good than bad. When you're coming off them weeks, couple weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago, you're like, Tyson Bagent? Tyson Bagent? Just playing around, but like, damn. He is, honestly, the crazy part is Caleb, of this class, I don't want to go down. You talk about the whole class, but Caleb's the one that's been probably of the most disappointing.
Marvin Harrison, kind of similar story, up and down.
Yep.
Jaden Daniels, absolute fucking banger of a smash. Banger.
Yep.
Malik Neighbors, right out the gate, banger. Now he gets Drew Lock. I can't wait for this.
This is the craziest. Can I tell you the craziest part about Malik is to your point, like you can only live in the moment. You're kind of prisoner of the moment, just in the reality of life. You don't know what's coming. It will be kind of, I think, for most people, a little forgotten how great he was early. In Dynasty, it probably won't be as much because that's what fucking absolutely is going to drive his value to out. Mm-hmm. The Saquon Barkley thing we have on the screen, right? This team, we talk about mismanaging shit, man. Oh my. He did what Malik Neighbors was on pace to do. Now, granted, it was a small sample size, and he got hurt. But look at this shit show that this dude was smashing in before that injury. Like, it's impossible.
Yeah. Rome Odunze, up and down, but Rome good.
Rome has given me enough signs in the fucked up year that the Bears have had to feel okay. But man, he's definitely bled some value for what we would have liked to see.
Sure. Drake May smashing his value.
Man, I tell you, he just is. But dude, I just don't. Can we not get this guy getting? Last week I did not like seeing him get teed off on like that. You know, it's like, damn, man.
True.
I remember young pup, but remember, you know, Joe Burrow once upon a time he was in a worthless season gets fucking crushed. I'm like, dude, can we please keep this kid healthy? This season's done. I mean, but it's tough seeing him like that. But he's doing great in a situation which has nothing.
JJ McCarthy, although injured, we haven't seen anything from him. Relatively holding value.
Yeah.
Relative to where he was taken.
I'll get there after we go through it all.
Bowers.
Can we say this? You know what's crazy? The only I will admit being wrong about Bowers because, Mike, I'll tell you right now, we had the conversation very much where I was pretty not siding with only one side. JJ McCarthy, Brock Bowers. That was the range. If you had 107, 108, nah, you can have the fucking tight end. I got the quarterback. Now, granted, I mean, JJ got hurt. Who knows what he would have been doing. The one thing about Brock, though, is it was too early. What he's going for now, dude. I did a money moves. It feels like forever since I've done one. It was 4 weeks ago. He went going for crazy hauls. He's now going for. Mike's getting Jordan Love and a fucking thrown in Noah Fant. The guy's value is impossible to go any higher. Like he has been a smash for value, right?
Xavier Worthy went down and starting to come back up a little bit here the last couple of weeks, so that's nice to see. Jonathan Brooks, obviously we haven't got to see him other than 2 carries or whatever the fuck it was last week. I would say he has regressed in dynasty value, right? Like if we were to do a rookie draft again, there's no fucking way anybody's taking him in the first round.
Because there was literally nobody that could have told you this was coming where like
Brian
you could
Thomas,
tell me that he gets hurt,
up.
but go ahead.
Brian Thomas up, Lad McConkey up, Bo Nix way the fuck up, Keon Coleman hold and serve.
Sure.
You get Trey Benson, whatever. Michael Penix, kind of the J.J. McCarthy situation. Ricky Pearsall holding serve. Xavier Legette holding serve. It's not till you get to the mid part of the second before you start getting into the actual like true disappointments of the class. But look back at any other rookie class at this point in the year and tell me that you still have a solid ass first round. I mean, we got two, 3 picks into the second round where you're like, yeah, that one was good too.
Now, this class was deeper than a lot, to your point. Now, this is one of the things, though, that I think will be kind of a how do I put this? Like the recency bias or here's a good example, Mike. Day before Thanksgiving, right? I don't know about you, but the old me was out, looking for a different kind of turkey right by now, getting hammered.
At the bars, man. Wednesday nights.
And let's put it like this. The parallel there is as the night goes on, the class is looking great. I mean, the class is looking spectacular as I'm drinking. But when the morning comes, the next day, like it's basically as the years progress, the beer goggles go away and you have all of the information in front of you, right? There's one thing that you'll see. I did a big breakdown on this actually in the offseason. Now, to the point you're making, this class will end up probably because it's so deep, have more of the guys that hold on. Ricky P is a good example of where I'm kind of curious, like where the actual cutoff will be. I mean, dude, we got Debo not performing. Now, granted, listen, fucking Brandon Allen's terrible, okay? But Debo's not performing. Ayuk's been not performing and not here. My guy ain't caught a pass in 2 weeks. Why are we holding serve? I mean, the one thing was if he gets the opportunity, we were sure he was going to smash, which is he doesn't get the opportunity. But the point I'm making here is on the Ricky P side tangent, sorry. He is probably around the line where the fall off is going to happen in year one because nobody believed, right? All those other players, they got to do something for you because nobody believes. The value insulation typically happens in year one where even if you don't do well, those first round picks, right around the end of the first round, early second, It's good. It'll hold, even if they don't do well. And the thing is, whether they do well or not, the large majority of players are going to hit their peak in their dynasty career at the end of their year 1 or year 2, and it's not even close.
I would agree with that sentiment. I would.
So
because here's another thing, right?
Yep.
Like we got guys who've been in the league a long time, just producing. You know what we get tired of? That production for some fucking
Derrick
reason.
Henry. We get tired of. I mean, listen, I won't
fucking thumbnail.
I won't. Yeah, I might have to sneak off and take a piss and grab a jersey swap because Mike, I don't even. It's not even fun actually. Like it's what he is doing. It's so beyond that. Like, you know, Mike, we have a close debate, right? We're a hot topic. Even if you in a landslide or me in a landslide, we're gonna have fun with it. But it's like to act like Saquon wasn't him. Just is, it's kind of, if anything, it's comedy at this point, right? It's just like not to be taken serious. And I don't think nobody thought he was bad, let's say, right? But I think people were saying going to a new situation, and there was excuses, right? Of especially the age and the injury history, right? Is he not the same player? Man, and I guess for me, I would not have liked. I would have told you, sure, he absolutely has the talent to go crazy. I mean, I'll admit, like, this wasn't what I was talking about, but this is who, listen, and I said this and you said this for, I think, 3 years now. One thing we have been consistent on since we've done content from the jump. Guys, just no idea what we're doing. We're laughing up here, which we still do, for the record. Saquon is the one running back that I'm willing to bet on for the rest of the time because he's the best running back prospect that we've ever seen. If I'm going to bet on someone aging well, it's going to be that guy. And the craziest part is in the same season, the perfect parallel that I remember saying this to Nick too, and at this point it's kind of like, you know, a laughing matter. If you're not familiar, Nick and I had a bet, right? Because he kept talking about him not having long speed in the offseason. And in the offseason, you're waiting for football. When you're doing content, like Mike and I do content so much with each other, you're like, at a certain point, you just kind of, you're tired of hearing the same shit. It's like, all right, man, well, put your money where your mouth is. It was 60-yard run to the house, which for the record is a fucking that doesn't happen that often unless you're Saquon. Now he got one early in the year, cashed the bet, right? And he around that time, like I remember he had like a 58-yard run. He was kind of like, you know, just barely short of 60. We made a double down. So it basically was like for the rest of the season, however many 60-yard bets that can cash, or I owe him. So, and we did a jersey bet, right? This dude got 3 jerseys for me, 2 of which in the same game. But Mike, you think about this. The point I'm making with the Giants, and I'm curious your thoughts here. What's so great is you're getting to see, because of the ineptness of the Giants, which shouldn't have been that surprising. It's so crystal clear that not only, like, this dude, what he did, he literally put a team that was sorry on his back at a position that people say does not equate to wins, which I would say by and large they're probably correct. But there are still some guys that are not of the same cloth. You can't have the same discussion with, man. This dude is, holy crap, Mike. Holy fucking crap. And that offense with that O-line, yikes.
Now, I did the half-in, half-out approach in the offseason because there was multiple trade shows. There was multiple questions on this very fucking show here. People asking about Saquon. And my caveat, the half-in, half-out thing was, while I am obviously trading a first for Saquon Barkley pretty easily because he's on my Eagles, I love the fucking player. I think he's going to smash. I would caveat that by saying that is definitely a player take for me, which I try not to do too much of. I still have, but I try
you
not
also,
to do too much.
In the moment, you even admitted to it too.
What the right process play. I always caveated by saying I would do it, but the right process says you probably shouldn't do this. You probably shouldn't do this. Now, I'll say this, sitting here today, I'm glad that I said, fuck that process.
Well, I mean,
going with my fucking heart.
The process with Barkley from the beginning, in a way, honestly, was never correct. I mean, even in the running back crazy land, dude went at a position at that point, which isn't to the same now. Like, nah, you shouldn't be taking the running back there. Nah, it don't matter. It's Saquon Barkley. He's just different. Dynasty. No matter what, you probably were paying too much, right? For process. Here's the truth, though. When you take a player like Saquon Barkley in Dynasty, it's a risk-reward payoff, man. And we've seen some risk, for sure. The injuries and, unfortunate disappointment. But, Mike, I bet you didn't know. I'll admit, I don't think there's anyone outside of Quads himself that really thought we're going to go here. Like, we're going to go to this level, which is the running back conversation. Let's have a convo. We're back in the MVP, my boy. MVP discussion. What do you got? 7 shares?
7th fucking running back off the board in Dynasty startup ADP this offseason.
Oh, I thought you had 7 shares. I was like, damn, you are happy. Okay. No, that makes sense. Makes sense.
7th running back off the board. Do you want to take a guess?
Yeah.
Who went before him? Can you name?
Yeah, I do. Absolutely. So we'll start off with we'll start off with the big 4-ish. We'll go Brees. We'll go Bijan. We'll go Gibbsy, even though he was after CMC because of disrespect. The disrespect. Okay, now we're going to get to territory which it was a little bit more muddled because I was taking Quads next, but I think. Let me think here. I feel like Kyron wasn't actually going ahead of him though.
He was not.
Yeah, he was close, but not. Let me think. Hold on, because there was not that many injuries.
Kyron went two running backs.
2 after. Yeah.
This is a little homage to your BDGE love too. A little trivia on Wednesday night.
Yeah. No, I like this. I will admit, like I love a little challenge like this out of thin air because I'm not even going to give you this ain't an excuse.
And an homage to like what's going to happen on Black Friday on the new South Harmon Vibes channel.
Yeah, man, I'm excited for that one. I will say, buddy, when I talk about sleep, bro, my brain doesn't work. I called my daughter today, my sister, and my wife's name before I got her name right. I've been so little sleep, bro. It's crazy. I hardly see my sister anymore. Let me think. Okay, hold on.
Got 4 more to go.
Yeah, so wait, I got 4, right? CMC, right? CMC, Bijan, Brees, Gibbs.
CMC. Okay.
Oh, he was 7. You're right. Oh, there's 2 more then, right? He was 7?
2 more.
Okay, all right. Backs. So let's think. All right. These are young guys.
My hand was getting tired. I had to put it down.
Well, speaking of your hand getting tired, I'm gonna be honest with you. The brain is so cooked that I think I need a drink, and I'm gonna guess. Like I'm blanking here because it was a hodgepodge of guys I didn't believe ahead of him. Like ETN comes to mind. I don't think he was high enough. Pacheco comes to mind. ETN? Those 2?
You got ETN. ETN. Travis ETN, not Pacheco.
Okay, I was gonna say if that was
you're missing another one. Plays in the same division though.
Same division as the really?
Jags. Yep.
Well, okay, so obviously Pollard everybody still hates. South. The hell? Not Mixon.
No. I thought this was gonna give it away. Like quick.
I'm telling you, my brain is donezo today.
Your brain definitely is.
Dude, it's bad. It is bad. I'm telling you. This ain't no excuses. It's just terrible. Y'all can see it right now. I can't even think of the 4 teams in the AFC South. It's so bad. Who am I missing?
Buddy.
Oh, Jonathan Taylor. I knew. You know what's crazy, Mike? I knew there was a player that I was missing that just would make way too much sense because I love JT. Cool. Okay, makes sense. JT and so I got ETN. All right. That was also way too tough to only get 5 of the 6, right? That's bad.
Wild, man. To see ETN and Jonathan Taylor above Saquon Barkley right now, you're like, what the fuck?
I'll be honest. JT makes sense still. Like now, not today. I'm saying the process and all. I will tell you, I fought the good fight. When I miss, I miss. Don't get it twisted, okay? I'm far from a I'm a shooter and I miss plenty. But buddy, I was fighting the good fight on ETN. I was telling people to only get crushed. Absolutely. This guy doesn't know what he's talking. Travis Etienne, he played with T-Law. Are you kidding me? Like, man. But when you hit, Mike, you know what's funny about it? It's almost like a home run swing. Like, I could go up there and swing and miss and miss and miss and miss. But when I'm uppercutting on that bitch and I get to look at your ass the whole way when you're on the mound, how's that Travis Etienne taste, bitch? Like, I didn't get it with him, though, honestly. I just didn't get it with Etienne when we were seeing the signs last year where didn't have the juice and he had all the work. Like, things were going to have to stay very good for him to remain in that value. Just think about this from Barkley. Now, I think at general, Barkley was in this range of unknown, frankly. And Henry was the same conversation of unknown, but like a much grosser unknown, let's call it. Like, okay, I remember vividly, Mike, in that late in the season, that BDG league, because I got Christian McCaffrey at the 110, and it was like, damn, I'm forcing my hand. I shit you not, I was ready to, like, right there, really kind of push the Saquon thing, because none of the other running backs were, to your point here, it was a very clear, like, the way we were feeling before we had what we saw. Like, I wanted Brees, I would have taken Brees, I would have taken Gibbs. But, man, I wasn't going to take Gibbs ahead of CMC, and I was, like, thinking about taking quads. Just CMC was staring me in the face. That would have been way high. He went, I think, in the third round in redraft. And the thing about it is, Saquon Barkley is the most talented running back we've ever seen. Like, I don't think that was really ever up for debate, but it felt like it was because he played on the Giants. But one of the things that always was, I felt like, pretty underappreciated, and it was kind of a negative for him because of the injuries. He had a 2,000-yard season in his rookie season, right? Receiving and rushing. He came back the next year, suffered a brutal injury early, came back quick as hell, finished the year, and was disappointing for his standards. The dude, despite all that, was a top 10 running back in a running back driven time in fantasy football. Like, I was going to put this, I didn't have enough time. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? We got Gladiator coming back. Like, this dude is out here. I love his charisma and how he's always stayed true to him. He's up there like, I'm not surprised. You're on mute. 255, 270-plus yard runs. I ain't surprised. Nah.
But behind a terrible offensive line on a terrible team.
That knew they were going to 26 every fucking time, bro.
That was the whole offense. The last 2 years, 18 fantasy points per game, 16 fantasy points per game. Mm-hmm. You don't want to look at points per game. You want to look at WARP. Last year, Saquon Barkley was the 25th overall player in just a generic league, generic superflex league in WARP.
I was going to ask you a question. Oh, go ahead.
He goes to a offensive line that is 50 times better than what the fucking Giants has.
I don't even know if that's an exaggeration, frankly.
He goes to an offense that's at least 7 or 8 times better than the Giants as a whole. That's a team that's going to be leading. And what do they do when they lead? Run the football.
You know what's crazy? They do run the football. Because there was the pass catching concerns because of Jalen Hurts was part of the little bit of the ick too. Remember?
I don't know if Saquon Barkley's going to get but
he's not going to catch passes. And, he's good. He's good. But just not going to be. He's not going to return value. Bro. He's not going to return value. I honestly do. I get the other side because he started to get towards in Dynasty. A lot of those drafts are earlier, right? Towards the end of the year, as the season progressing, he did start to get higher. But at the same point, it's like I just felt like as the process went along, I'm like, damn, like I was starting to feel for the guy. I'm like, they out here trying you quads, like. I could have been like the the person on the shoulder, like, oh, they really don't think you like that anymore, like, bro. He is doing it in a way that's so awesome too, man.
So, for me, for running backs, there's always a couple stats I look at. Advanced analytics that I like personally. You and I did a podcast about this, talking about advanced data that we actually think matters and that we look at.
That was a fun one. That was a while ago, yeah.
For me, right or wrong, with running backs that I always look at, and this is coincides, is their yards created per touch, their juke rate, right? How many tackles they're evading, and their run block rating, right? So
I think Saquon might do the Barry Triple Crown on that one.
So if you were to tell me a running back is low in yards created per touch, but very high in run block rating, and then is scoring fantasy points, I tell you, this is a guy, Emmitt Smith of days past, who is benefiting a lot from what his offensive line is doing. There's a place for that. There is.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
There's a place for that, but it doesn't tell me the true talent of the running back, right?
Sure.
It never tells me
the situation doesn't lend you to really know if he's different than the other guys, right?
So you want to put it together why I look at that and why I like it. Saquon Barkley was always a high guy in yards created per touch. You go look at his run block rating and you'd be like, gee, there's only 32 starting running backs in the league. How the fuck is this guy like 48th? You know what I mean? His backup running backs get better run block rating than fucking Saquon Barkley. You look at it this year, Saquon Barkley, number 2 in the league in yards created per touch, number 1 in the league in run block rating. So not only are the holes gigantic and open, every time Saquon touches a fucking football, he's doing the most he can possibly do with that touch. Yeah. And I think you saw that on Sunday night where it was like, listen, the 70-yard runs are fun, right? But the reason you didn't see a whole lot of those the last couple of years, because the offensive line was fucking terrible. It's not because Saquon Barkley didn't have the talent. It's because he didn't get to enjoy the fact that when he ran that counter play, and you see that last one he had versus the Rams, just to fucking ice it, like just end any hope of the comeback.
That's the one. That run specifically. Like, forget the fact that he had one earlier, right? Like, that's all. That's the one. It's like, oh, you're that dude. Like, you're not from here.
I like David Montgomery because he's physical and he does set the tone. We talked about him a couple of AMAs ago. David Montgomery gets holes like that sometimes, right? The difference.
I think David Montgomery gets holes like that quite a bit.
He does get holes like that quite a bit.
Pause.
But the difference between Saquon Barkley and David Montgomery is David Montgomery, gets 15 yards. You know what I mean? Like, got it. All right, there we go. 15 yards. Saquon Barkley gets 70 plus and add him a brand new jersey of his choice.
Dog, I'll be honest. Like, shitheads, we might be eating good this year. I might fuck around and have to give one away. I mean, the other thing, Mike, is this year I went ahead and like I was sometimes I just like to do some theory testing, right? Some A/B testing. I want to push the limits and see if there's any truth in certain narratives, right? And I'm like, you know what I'm gonna do? We're gonna really see. I'm gonna get a whole bunch of jerseys, like. Yeah, because if we go to that level, like this is voodoo magic, right? Like I don't know. It was an insane amount of jerseys at the start of the year. Like now I got 3 more coming. I mean, we might have to do a giveaway, man. We might have to say, because here's the thing. To that point, I am thankful for Saquon Barkley. I don't want to give anything away, but I got something to tell the people. And here's the thing I want to say, Mike. How much of Daniel Jones' money that he got from the Giants before they eventually realized they got gypped, how much does he have to give to Saquon now? This man literally, just think about this now. When we know what we know today, Mike, think about this for a second. And when you want your brain to be scrambled like mine is, I got you for at least a little bit. Okay? This man was so fucking good that he convinced the franchise that Danny Dimes might be the guy, and because he plays the position of quarterback, that we have to pay that player. And in the midst of that, as the most talented running back on the team, in the league that we've probably ever seen, is on a franchise tag, right? Here, I'm gonna give you. You got to. Here's your rent money, right? Here's your rent money. We're going to get this guy's mansion, get him all set up, and probably with the way things are trending, like, we'd love to keep you, Saquon. You're good, but if we got to let you walk, we'll let you walk. I mean, bruh, like, and you wonder. I will say this: I don't think I think he's it's kind of surprising to me still because of all the shit in the Giants. Like, it's easy to have all we knew is what we knew. This is a guy that was so ridiculously highly regarded coming out and lived up to it in his rookie season. And then, Mike, I played for a lot of good teams along, winning records. But at the end of my career in college, I played for a bad team. And the one thing is, man, you are a part of a shitty culture and a shitty team. The toxicity in the locker room and that just breeds from losing. Problems you didn't know existed, they probably didn't exist, arise. Like, he went through all that, and I think for me, I as much as he says I'm not surprised, he just owning the fact that he's always kept his body right and works hard. Guy's still hella humble for, like, in this moment, man. We were talking about on the trade show, Kelly ripping into what's his name? I can't think of the AFC South. I might need you to help me. Yeah. Man, you know what some of these kids be doing right now? Doing what Saquon's doing out there? 70 plus twice after those years in the Giants. They go crazy. Speaking of the Giants, Neighbors was pretty awesome too. But that's a story for another day. I just think with Saquon right now, if you're the Eagles, I'm curious what your thoughts are as an Eagles fan. Man, we are going crazy. We are going crazy. We are going crazy.
I'm fucking smitten, man. And the fact that I don't have his jersey yet needs to be rectified ASAP.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll do you one. That's actually not one better. It might be worse, but I'm gonna have to throw it on here for you because I got the Kelly Green. Your buddy, our boy Schumer was texting me because I'll tell you what. You know how you got friends that care about you. Sometimes I don't, but in the right moments, Mike. I'll tell you this. In the group chat, Andrew, who at times people think he and I don't like each other on content for some reason. We have no problem with each other at all. He is in there before I was on there in the chat, like, oh, we got another jersey, like rallying it up, just. And Corey's like talking about, oh, let's go another jersey too. And when he hit the second one, he's an Eagles fan. He's going crazy. I gotta get me a Kelly Green, man. Like, you might have to give one of those to me. 3X. Let me know. I'd do anything for that jersey. So, listen, Corey, I might have to get you one. They are pretty sweet, and they're gonna be hard to come by.
Yep. Yeah, I think. Listen, Lamar has played well all year. Derrick Henry has played well all year. Saquon Barkley. If there was a year to give the MVP to a running back, the Eagles continue to go on this streak. And make the playoffs in the dominant fashion that they are now currently playing. Right. Give it to a fucking running back, man. I will advocate for it more than anything. Jesus fuck. I
think here's the thing though, right? I put it up on the screen. Penrose, appreciate it. And I see. Listen, I turned the system audio. Well, I turned it back on. I don't know if can you hear it again? Like. We are going crazy over here all of a sudden. We got fantasy gods in here. I love when fantasy gods in here. That's when I know I need to pour up. So I've been trying to. I'll be honest. I have to piss so bad. I'm like, I don't know if I should. I'm going to do it.
And go take the piss. Go take the piss.
I will. But I just wanted to say one thing. I wanted to say one thing about this to Saquon's point. I will take my PP. I will. And I'll take my PP in the big potty. I try to get my daughter to do it. Hey, Mike. But for real. Listen, this is one of the things that was so interesting is the running back position in fantasy football, and in particular Dynasty because of, the shelf life, right? It hit, since I've been playing, the lowest it's been. Now, I remember, and I'm sure plenty of others do, it was around 2014-ish, right, where the running backs overall in the game weren't that great. It wasn't really because people were saying like anything other than there's just not that as many dominant ones. And that's when, for me, the first time I could really remember the zero RB strategy that surfaced. But then shortly after, right back to 2016, 2017, it's like, okay, the goons are back. Like, we're good. But we never really seen, I think, the combination of the scoring get so low and the fact that the shelf life was bad. Like, to the point, I mean, we're finding out maybe that isn't necessarily the case for the different breeds, but, you know, you had guys like Cam Akers and J.K. Dobbins that we talked about. Like, they were getting hurt, and so many players getting hurt and underachieving. You're like, damn, like, this is what the game is now, huh? There was always going to be an evening out of that, but holy hell, buddy. The wide receivers all died this year. Not all of them, but, like, we have so many players that actually did get hurt, and then now it's like how many guys that we really like, no quarterback, so that's the reason they're not going to do well. And so many running backs are smashing, but Barkley, I would argue Barkley and Henry went to two of the better situations they could go to, and you have that combined with the fact that the running back position is healthy. You're eating good if you had a lot of the running backs. And on that note, I'm going to take my piss and let you guys hear what McNutted has to say, because I know he's going to talk some shit to you.
I will. I'm going to talk some shit while Adam goes pee-pee in the big potty. Here's one thing I want people to realize as far as the advanced data, the warp goes with these guys, that I absolutely fucking love. And I think it's very interesting. So last year, if you look at Christian McCaffrey, CMC won a lot of people a lot of fucking money last year with just the incredible season he had. But in this generic league, you guys have heard me and Maddie talk about this when we do our warp buys and sells. That's exactly what the league is named, just a traditional start 10 super flex. No frills. Last year, Christian McCaffrey was a .213 warp, right, per game. It's pretty good. Like, that may not mean much to you, but he was by far and away the number one player. Absolutely just out there fucking hammering. The only person that was really close to him was Tyreek Hill. And the reason that they had very similar warp per game, Tyreek Hill played in one less game. Because you remember the late season fucking ankle injury that just cost us like what really could have been in the fantasy playoffs. This year, Saquon Barkley is smashing in warp per game Christian McCaffrey's number from last year. He's smashing what Tyreek Hill did from last year. He is absolutely out here just fucking shitting on him. And the other point, like Penrose has on here, about his RB heavy teams with Henry, etc. Henry is like, he is a fucking red cunt hair. Red, you like the real thin ones, the real fucking thin ones. He's a red cunt hair off of CMC's pace from last year. He's a .209. The other fucking crazy thing about the running backs this year, RB2 last year in warp per game was Raheem Mostert. Found money where you're like, oh shit. But Raheem Mostert also won a lot of people championships because he went out and fucking produced, set the Dolphins record in touchdowns scored, the whole fucking works. Didn't cost shit, throughout almost the entirety of the season. There are 10 running backs. Count them, 10. I got 10 fingers. Last count for me. Yeah, 10 fucking fingers. There are 10 running backs this year outpacing Raheem Mostert's warp per game. So it's absolutely fucking insane to me what the running backs are doing this year, especially led by the top guys. And the fact that they're staying healthy and they are startable every single week and you are capturing that warp, there's no real questions, especially on these elite guys, of like, do I start them because they were questionable or DNP on Friday or whatever the case is, minus Christian McCaffrey, who we've been without for a majority of the season and just finally got back. These elite running backs are out here just fucking hammering your leagues. And the absolutely most wild thing to me is I probably have 2 or 3 rebuilding teams myself where I am not making the playoffs. I am not in contention because the roster construction of my team was bad. It may be one of these teams where I pushed in everything I had, the last couple of years to win championships and then just absolutely, dudes fell off my quarterback room shit or whatever. I have CMCs. I have Saquon Barkley's. I have Alvin Kamara's. I have Derrick Henry's on these teams, and I can't win because the rest of the roster shit. And nobody in my fucking league really gives a shit about trading for these people. So I am pleading with y'all, if you're a contending team and you see somebody in your league who is not contending that rosters a Derrick Henry, an Alvin Kamara, a Saquon Barkley, a Joe Mixon, etc., just go out and fucking pay them. Like, they're probably desperate to get these dudes off their teams.
Well,
like, what the fuck are they doing here? They are fucking up my rebuild. Go get them.
Welcome Adam, to South Harmon. We glad you're here today.
I hit him with one fact that I think you should know. Right?
Okay.
Christian McCaffrey last year won everybody leagues.
Mm-hmm.
Like, won people leagues. He was historic.
He was warp god, right?
Saquon Barkley is outpacing him in warp per game this year on what he did last year. And Derrick Henry is I love to use this one, man, because there's different sizes, thicknesses of
different strokes for different folks. Yeah.
Different thicknesses.
Different girths. A little different. Is it girth?
Derrick Henry's a red cut hair away. Like the real thin ones. Without soles.
I'm not sure that. I'm not so sure that big pause won't end up being that hair might be there. The dude Henry right now, I have him on a team. It's like, damn, I'm not getting that old king yet. Like, I wouldn't be surprised to see this dude when in the fantasy playoffs all of a sudden, like, oh, you think Saquon's a dog. Don't get it twisted, right? He's probably saying, but stop. You forgot again. Like, the best part about these guys is how many times are they probably saying, how many times can you sleep on me? How many? You know what? Let's make one more. Let's do it one more time. Kind of like the last, going back with the old flames. What's up?
Fantasy God said it's like being with Lisa Ann, and I'm assuming this is in regards to and as a big Lisa Ann fan, I can say that there is no hair. Right? Confidently.
Good night. Good. Now,
I'm a big fan.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. This is how I know we're just getting started right here. Like, this is why I needed to get rid of that excess.
Hey, I'm out. Cheers, you beautiful motherfuckers.
Cheers to you, by the way.
You know what I haven't done? I haven't drank from the bottle yet.
Hey, you know what? What's funny is I'm trying to act like I'm all sophisticated. Like, Mike, remember I didn't even drink anything on the trade show because I didn't have a glass. Like, what the fuck? Just drink out of the bottle, dummy. Come on. It's good enough for my daughter. Come on. Like, drink out of the bottle, man. What's wrong with you?
We trying to be bougie and shit. You got to put in a bourbon glass.
Well, you know what happened, Mike? We got South Harmon bourbon glasses, and see, welcome to South Harmon. That's why I came down here. I got the Barkley on. I got the P. I'm not sitting here clamped up, and I got a drink. I'm ready to go, Fizzle Dollar style. Listen, we got to get the questions and just the chat in general. It's popping off. This new system audio has thrown me for a loop. There was a update to the eCam. Imagine just like a random sounder for the chats that was close enough to me. It was so faint that I thought it was Mike, like being a gobbler, doing a little gobbler noise. I'm like, what the hell is going on in here? Let's see, because you did do that. Okay, listen, T-Rock's here. Well,
shit, that was on mute. Didn't even get that one out.
Can I tell you the truth, T-Rock?
What up, T-Rock?
I love you, by the way. Appreciate you being here. Shout out to you. I'm thankful for you. Thankful for all y'all. Let's call it what it is. A lot of times, that's what Mike's doing. I mean, he's bouncing off of me, but just like when I'm talking to him, Lord knows you're only listening so you could immediately speak and tell the other person to go sit up to take one of those red hairs.
You're always my OG, man. But I do have to give a massive shout out to Fizz and the guidance Fizz has given me. He has given me. When you said Lord knows, I thought I was on Fizzle Fridays. That's what I thought. I thought I was on the South Harmon Vibes channel because I was like, Lord knows I'm filthy rich. Like, I thought you were going into a Meek verse.
Well, I mean, listen, see, but this is the thing. When you say that,
my bad.
I ain't even mad because, like, sometimes what you realize is you gotta have another person to reach you. You can't. To your point, like, if you only had one person telling you stuff, like, for example, when people will take one take, we say, good or bad. Typically, it's 99% of the time it's bad. Man, when are you gonna stop? When are you gonna stop this shit with Purdy, Mike? Come on, look how good he's playing, right? They just keep leaning into it. But if you only had one person saying something, if it's only me telling you, I need Fizz. Fizz is he's reached you, man. There's something about Fizz that just
He touched my soul.
He can. Well, I was gonna say he definitely got to that too. But he got to your G spot, if you will. What's up? No, you're not tripping. We're in the same room.
It's so depressing. I just remembered today that the LaMelo Scooby-Doo shoes, speaking of Fizz, dropped.
You can get them?
Only in size 15. All right. Like, I like to think of myself as a big
speaking
dude
of which,
fucking, you know what I mean? A hammer.
Speaking of which, those are big shoes to fill. I could fill them shoes. I know that.
You could. 13s.
You know what they say about big feet?
Big socks.
Exactly correct. See that that would have been one you would have gotten 100%. Yeah, I bet you Fizz even would have answered that right.
You would have got that one right.
Well, we don't worry. We got questions coming tomorrow. I
was gonna give the shout out to Dynasty Trades at 5. You know what I mean? Like, I like to think of myself as big feet with a fucking hammer.
You crazy man. Oh,
but I ain't a 15. All right.
Yeah, that's fair.
No more limits.
Them big shoes to fill. Honestly, you don't want them shoes too, man. Them shoes end up being all big and clodhoppery. Like, nah, they look kind of crazy.
No, I wouldn't get 15s. Like, I'd only buy 13s. I could fit into 12s if I really have to, but 13s where the comfort level is. The fucking sold out, man. Scooby-Doo LaMelos are sold out. This is fucking some bullshit.
Mike, you know what's crazy? I will say.
Fuck.
Well, let me just cut to. I was not expecting you to fumble the bag. You kind of. I was living vicariously through you lately. All right, because one, I'll just tell you what it is. Go ahead. Oh, please. But that was a bit. That's a bad. Look, you have it. But that's a bag fumble. You telling me about a drop and don't get it.
I had the date in my phone. Do it, Mike. Right. Shout out to Christian for one, even put me on this. Right, because he knew about the flaming hot Cheetos, the Scoot Hendersons from Puma that I copped. Thanks to Fizzle.
I don't know nothing about the Puma deals and how they drop, but yeah, I get you. That's how I know I'm old, man.
I had the date. Christian sent me the IG post. I was fucking ready, to go. I had it queued up. I was at work. It's a Wednesday. I hope Austin isn't watching. Austin's my manager.
I hope Austin is watching. What's up, Austin? What's up, man? Happy Thanksgiving to you.
I pretty much fucked off all day, but it was Thanksgiving. The company didn't do anything for the people, like a little like lunch or whatever. So
I'm gonna get a lunch in.
The people.
Damn.
I bought $100 worth of KFC today for the maintenance department. You know what I mean? You got that 16 piece. You got the four sides. There was like 50 biscuits that they sent.
Hey, right on cue with a super chat, man. Come on, that's why you my dog. That's some shit. That's I like hearing that. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. So I hooked the maintenance department up with the KFC today. Just a little holiday dinner. I wanted them to feel good, and it completely fucking just. Right out of my fucking mind that I should have been on Puma, just being like trying to cop them 13s.
Damn.
Here we are. Now I'm fucked. But I did see they're making Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle mellows.
Dang, that is crazy. I'm literally the flashbacks of like I'm a little kid loving Ninja Turtles and going to the movie. Oh my gosh.
I'm not gonna lie, the Scooby-Doos are fire as shit, but the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle ones, that's a special place in my heart, man. Leonardo and Donatello, Mikey,
facts.
Raphael,
I'm out here putting the super chat up. I didn't even get the comment up. My bad, Fantasy. Got it one click.
Ideally, I'd like to own them all. Like Pokemon.
Yep.
Gotta catch them all. But
yeah. Well, that was gonna be my point. I'm living vicariously through you, so. Mike, I like to believe that some things in life, not all, typically not many, and hardly any, and sometimes you just make that shit up too. It happens for a reason, though, right? When you have 15s, see, that's a little bit more of a rare exception where they don't have enough to get the initial drop. They also normally don't make as many, and a lot of times they don't make any. So it's actually been really hard to get shoes over the years because I will tell you, I have my vices. Okay, as you know, I told you I didn't sleep last night. I need to go to bed. I'm drinking a Red Bull like it's placebo, buddy. Like it don't. You think this shit gonna phase me? I'm Saquon Barkley. I'm run 70 yards to the bed and pass out on you. Mike's shoes were a problem for me, right? But now with kids and there's no room in the house for anymore. Period. Like none. There's you know how much room 15s take up? About 60 of them.
A lot.
I'm out of real estate. I'm out of those days are not in the moment. But man, I can live. I don't know about the. I get it. I don't know about the Ninja Turtle ones, but I gotta see. I gotta see them. I guess I haven't seen them. I can, nostalgically think about it.
Scroll back a little bit in Savage chat because that's where they were dropped. Big meat, big drink. For those of you not affiliated, patreon.com/South Harmon. Savage chat's where it's at. I know the price is steep. We have a fucking fantastic time. We're probably gonna have a fantastic time all getting drunk and watching Thursday night football.
What do you mean probably? We're gonna have a great time. What?
Eating leftover turkey.
Which time?
Hopefully my awesome turkey. But yeah, scroll back and find it. One of the things I got to say though, Adam, I always thought this was funny as shit because you are a legit 6'4", and you do wear a legit 15. You can't tell on camera we look like we're the same height. It is not fucking close. I'm 5'11" and a half masquerading as 6 foot. All right, to be completely honest, when you get that half, you're under 6 foot. You take your halves. You know what I mean? So I tell everybody I'm 6 foot, but every 5'11", 6 foot dude in the entire world, and I swear to who has any iota of athletic ability, and I know.
Hey, boy, I need to go to bed.
I know it's tough to see now, but Adam can vouch for me, even though I'm a fat fuck now. That jumper's wet. Yeah. I got a little bounce to me. I got some quickness. He watched me, chase some people down the hall.
I watched Felix throw the lob to him.
Exactly. I got some moves. All right, so I have some athletic ability. Okay, I had it back in the day. I've put on a few 100 pounds since then, but. Anybody who's 5'11" or 6 foot who has any iota of athletic ability always says the same shit, man. This is like another white people. Maybe it's just white people too.
This one carries to just people that I know where you're going. Go ahead. Yeah.
You're like, man, if I was 6'4", I'd be in the NFL right now.
You know what 6'4" people say? Man, if I was 6'6", 6'7", I wouldn't know Mike right now. He'd be talking to this damn chair. That's for sure, T-Rock. Like, yeah, of course. But then eventually you keep going up the ladder. You know what happens? All of a sudden you don't move. Nobody moves at 7 foot. You keep going up, right? They typically don't move like Wemby. You know what I mean? They look like George Mirashan. So like it comes with a cost. But I was gonna say to that too. It's like also you know what my personal favorite is now. If you're out there and you take this, to heart, it's not meant to be. And if you did have a horrible thing happen, get in line. Because here's the thing, Mike. There was, how many people were just one bad break away from, man, like they were him. It's just either coach didn't like him, my coach senior year or whatever. I had, I got just nobody scouted. Nobody was looking at me. The colleges were kind of, they were on the bullshit. They didn't want to bring good players in.
Uncle Rico.
Man, if everybody was just one hop, skip, and a jump away from being in the league, being this, that, and the other, I'll tell you the truth, Mike. You know what it was? At 6'4", I got to be Steve Nash. I got to be Kyrie Irving. Like I'm sorry, okay? Y'all got it.
Ain't gonna happen.
I'm sorry.
Ain't gonna happen.
I was as self-believing as you could be, but Mike, I mean, even you got to tip the cap at some point, Go see if you can create a South Harmon thing or something. I don't know. By the way, we got a super chat sitting here waiting for us. Here,
my bad, fantasy god.
Soliloquy. But listen, we're in a thankful place, a drankful place. We're in a Bucky Irving place. Yeah.
This Thanksgiving, I want to make it fucking clear. I'm thankful for every fucking one of you. Every one of you. Even the people who try to test my patience with some of your asshole YouTube comments. You know who you are. Just know, like they say that rent-free. You motherfuckers do live rent-free. in my head.
Damn. Well, here, Fantasy God wasn't mad.
I'll be at work having a good day and just pull it up. He's like, "You have a new YouTube comment." I'll be like, "Motherfucker."
See, Mike. I think you got it all wrong. I think Fantasy God's like, "Hey, that comment's up there. I'm having fun." Now he gets another
52, one. 6.5 crooked drink.
No, that's a crooked. You had too much to drink. That's a crooked. I don't know if you meant to say crooked, but crooked dink. And man, that stays on the screen too, boy. Hey, this is. I need to get that fizz sounder. Welcome to South Harmon. We glad you're here today. So here, look. Sounder, yeah, it's coming. Bucky Irving was a scat back. See, Mike, you start getting crazy like this. You hear those comments? They're just coming in. Bucky Irving is not the reason they're coming in, although he's been a scat back with low volume, A-chain like. Boy's going to win titles. Your thoughts about the end run for him with an easy schedule? I mean, I think Mike and I have talked about this. I'm curious. We'll get it out on the open. Mike can't hold back or reserve anymore. He's got his going to tell you exactly how he feels juice in him. I think he's going to be really good still for the rest of the season. I think this offense is just in a position they got to fucking score. And newsflash, they have tried their damnedest, Mike, to not give him the ball for a long time. And a fight's over, man. He's getting all of the work. So I think he's in a good position the rest of the year. Now, dynasty-wise, if I can pay that, I'm good. I just feel like right now the problem with him is he is getting to the point price-wise where I'm not necessarily feeling like I'm paying to rent him, right? And now if that's the cost, I want to go ahead and say, all right, well, fuck y'all. I'm going to go ahead and buy a place then. I'm going to go ahead and get the guy that really is going to smash, Let me lean into the days of probably buying quads unless he's on an absolute shitbird team is over. But there's still, I think, players that have higher upside than him still.
The problem that I have with Bucky Irving, right, and I'll fully admit, and if DB's still in here, I know DB's got a DB works retail, so this is the absolute fucking worst time for advertising. And he works retail in Canada where they don't observe American holiday. They don't give a fuck about that.
DB will hit me with a story to make me like when I'm in a bad mood, like, all right, we good, DB will hit you with some crazy shit, man.
DB knows that I was very against Bucky Irving because the profile of him with his speed score was such
speed score bad, and there's some other questions, but the speed score especially, right?
I am very impressed with what Bucky Irving has done. Now, my only caveat, and you can call it take lock, whatever the fuck it is, fantasy god, and I get it. I'm willing to be wrong on this. The problem I have with Bucky Irving is even now with him out here.
T-Rock Mike's getting ready to tell you he's not the workhorse right now.
He's out here smashing in efficiency when he gets the rock, and he looks fucking great when he does it. He is an NFL running back, but they're not going to – I don't know if they're going to give him 60% of the fucking touches because they've refused to do it all fucking season, even with Rachaad White being so fucking dusty and gross and slow and just doesn't look good. They still want to trot this. They still want to trot this fucking guy out here. And then this last week, to add insult to injury, they get down to the goal line, and they're like, you know what we need to do?
44.
Sean Tucker.
44.
44. Give it to 44.
Come on, man. We gave you that big-ass number. Get in there. Come on.
That is fucking infuriating. This is almost the exact same problem I have with Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren, and why I was so hard on the people who were advocating for Jaylen. Not that I don't think Jaylen Warren's awesome. I think when he gets the fucking rock, he's very good with it. Should he have 60-70% of the touches? Fuck yeah. But until Najee just flat out dies or leaves the fucking team, it wasn't going to happen. This is probably my biggest fear with Bucky Irving. I will agree. The schedule is amazing. His production so far on limited touches is fantastic. But I could also see a place where he still gets 46-47% of the snaps, and he's not as efficient.
Sure.
Even with an easy schedule. Sure. And you're like, damn, he only gave me fucking 6 fantasy points? What the fuck?
I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of these running backs. We talk glowingly of quads and Henry and all that. Like, I got bad news. There's a lot of these running backs actually that still can give you a good cold 6. I mean, Tony Pollard, remember early in the year was like, damn, dude's going 20, 20, 20. Well, I think the thing with Bucky though, like, it's a risky bet. I think it can pay off, but like, there's a lot to like about his game. I think from the NFL standpoint, even more so than I remember Gut, especially when I was going in the summer when there's nothing to do. He was Gut's hilarious, and that's my dog. He would make me watch film with him. Like, we would be watching film, and he's very biased and into the players he likes. He was all over Bucky, and like, he looked good on film, but I'll admit, like, he has looked a little even shiftier than I thought he was gonna be. And also, not just that, like, a little bit better blend of power than I thought he was going to be. I thought this was going to be a guy that, like, almost the same ilk of Rachaad White, where it's like, let's even say the Joker card cashes and you get all the work. Is he just going to fall down on contact? Like, Bucky is exciting. Here's the thing at the end of the day is what's going to happen with this team? How good are they going to be? Is he going to be ever able to command a above replacement level workload, right? Because the reality of here's the truth. At the end of the day, one of the things that you want to avoid when the cost goes to everyone's chasing is what? A guy that is you're not getting volume, right? Because he has to be him. And a lot of times let me speak for me. I'll just take W out of it for now. I know you guys did too, but I've chased enough of those and gotten burnt on them to avoid some of them at least. I make plenty of bad trades and still get wrong, but I think there's a lot of I would say that when I look at range of outcomes, I use that word a lot. People like to clown me for it. I don't care. I'm gonna keep using it because it's wide as hell with him. Like, I wouldn't be surprised, Mike, if he was the starter and getting 65% of carries in 2 years from now. 3 years from now in a really, really rosy look.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if Sean Tucker all of a sudden starts getting more goal line work. If who knows what's going to happen in 25. Like, there's so many scenarios where does Bucky actually have the not just power right now, but like staying power to hold off, all the competition likely to come at the running back position.
Over the last 6 weeks of them playing, week 7 on, this is one thing I saw Fantasy God point out in the chat, and I'm just giving you the numbers, man. To your point, you wanted me to look at them, so I am. Rachaad White over the last 6 weeks, same time frame, looking at the exact same thing. Rachaad White is the 21st overall player in WARP during that time, a .174 WARP per game. Bucky Irving, unfortunately, I don't think this went like how he planned. The 39th player in WARP, .154. Rachaad White, with just volume and being shit, just being shit, is outproducing him in fantasy. Like, he just is. And that is my biggest fear, is that this shit continues. But also, when you have a guy who doesn't get like the third down work, and he's not getting the goal line work because fucking Sean Tucker's a thing for whatever god awful reason. There's no consistency.
I'm muted, but isn't that what they call the valuable touches, the goal line and
the valuable touches? And if he's not getting it, no matter how good the schedule is, if the efficiency dips at any given point and he's not doing the absolute most, which he is right now, he absolutely is right now with what touches he gets. If he has a game or two where he doesn't do the absolute most, he has a little bit of regression, which happens to almost every single running back. Look, like fucking Saquon Barkley's on the thumbnail. We're talking glowingly about him. I think he has like a 6-point game within the last like 6 weeks on his resume where you're like, what the fuck, Saquon? Like, running backs will have that. Even guys who are getting 80% of the touches will have that kind of thing. A dude getting 40% of the touches is more susceptible to that kind of stuff. That's the reason I'm not like fully like, you have to go trade for Bucky Irving. It has nothing to do with his ability or talent. I am fully on the Dynasty Barry bandwagon of like, this fucking guy is good at football, but until their coaching staff goes like, this is our dude, and they show me that this is their dude with a 60% or 70% touch rate, I have a tough time buying in, because it feels a lot like the Jaylen Warren situation where I'm like, you're just setting yourself up to get fucking disappointed. You really are.
Yeah. It's interesting. A couple points as I'm listening there. One, here, let me give you a little synopsis of something to think about counterintuitively here. If they did what they did to Saquon Barkley, you know how little of a leash Bucky fucking Irving's going to have in the big picture? Like, come on. Like, Saquon Barkley was someone the Giants, after carrying their team, we probably got to move on, and we don't want to pay you a contract. Like, Bucky, I think I think he's in the point where you're getting everything you probably have ever hoped for out of Bucky Irving right now, right? And to me, I call that for these type of guys, this type of profile, the pleasantly surprised, but we probably have seen all the best that we're ever going to see before our eyes, huh? Like a little poet right there. It's just, we're in danger zone, man. Like, yeah, you could. Here's the reality. Let me ask you this question, and I'll pose it for the group here. Because if you're buying now, if it's not like, let's say you just bought recently or a couple weeks ago, where as the price is continuing to go up here, maybe you get a good deal. Maybe you got it cheap. But at the point we're getting to now, see, I think we're at the level of he better win you a ship or he better turn into Kyron Williams. And the odds of the latter, I think, are still pretty grim. Like, because it's few and far between guys get that type of workload. And I like Bucky. I like him just fine. I feel like he's just kind of getting to that point where it's like, okay, this is kind of where I'd like to get off the ride here, guys. I'm going to let you. It's my stop at the subway station. Dude, we're talking ahead of him on Keep Trade Cut. No, I'll take a look at some deals on the lab just to see. Mike, it goes Jacobs, Mixon, Henry, Cook, Taylor. I mean, you're just immediately, we're immediately into the guys. We're immediately at that tier. I like him. I love him.
That's a tough. Here's one other point. One other stat nugget that I want to give you.
That's crazy.
We get a lot of like recency bias, which I get. Sometimes is good. Sometimes is good, Adam. I'm not going to say it's always bad. Can you tell me how many times Bucky Irving has outsnapped Rachaad White when they've both been healthy and on the field?
Raw number of snaps.
Snap percentage. How many times has Bucky Irving outsnapped Rachaad White when they've both been healthy?
I'm going to say 3. It's 3 or 4 probably.
You are 3 times too high.
Damn.
One time, and it was last week.
I saw last week. I thought, I could be wrong. I was looking. It was close a week before. It might have been still in Rachaad White's favor. I was monitoring it. It wasn't going crazy his way yet. No.
But listen. I want to be completely honest. Like, I do love Bucky Irving, but if you're a Bucky Irving stan, you look at last week and you go like, "See, it's happening, Mike. I fucking told you. It happened last week. It's the only time it has been." And it wasn't big enough for me to go like, "Oh wow, what a giant change in usage," right? Like, Bucky Irving played 52% of the snaps. Rachaad White played 47.
But
48 if you want to round up.
Now, to the point you're making here, right? I agree with you. I will say, like, how do I put it? Okay, so with Bucky, it's at least like, all right, there is a problem still to be had. It's almost like the in a movie, you don't want to get to the end too quick. Right? You can kind of see it though. It's like, listen, man, like they're eventually gonna have to see Rachaad White's a fucking turd. Like, and then what? That's probably what everyone. Like, that's what never made sense to me about Braylon Allen. What?
There you go.
Like, okay, Braylon Allen, he could do God's work and see the bench. Like, Bucky at least has nobody in his way other than the coaches, the coaching staff, and the biggest problem is there's two things. I think at the end of the day, if we're the way I'm playing now, this doesn't mean you are. That's why I'm saying if I'm playing short term at the running back position, meaning I'm looking at the schedule, I'm looking at how he's playing. I see the upside. I don't know that it's like locked in, so that's why I'm a little bit iffy on the price. But if you are somebody that has any type of, let's even say you think you're playing for the short term, but you got to have the cherry on top. You got to have the whipped cream, whatever it is, right? You want your cake and eat it too. buddy, if he's having a hard time with the coaching staff today with Rachaad White, listen, he had a nice year last year, but I'm pretty sure we can get a handful of guys that have the pedigree of a Rachaad White coming out of Arizona State. At you talking about how people are taller. The guy was like how old when he came out? Come on, like we can find a guy that can go in and do something similar that the coaching staff can use in a role that just is a pest to Bucky. Like, so
I really feel bad that you're dunking on Rachaad White for his age.
I had to.
Especially when Maddie and I just did like a whole podcast centered around Devon V, who's like 47.
Brother, you know what's crazy? It's one of my favorite things when like a guy like that gets relevance and no one really knew much about him, and then what? Like, wait a minute, it's like Kurt Warner? Is he bagging groceries? What happened?
That was probably the most fun thing about doing that pod with Maddie. Was not even the fact that we were talking about it. It was good.
Damn, was that a shot at Maddie or was that just?
No.
I'm playing.
It was fantastic Dynasty advice that we were given. But my favorite moment of that whole thing was like Maddie's telling me I knew Devon V was old, but Maddie's like throwing out these little nuggets like he's only fucking like 6 months younger than this guy. And like I feel like I drafted that guy in Dynasty when I graduated high school.
Well,
you know what I mean? Like,
wait, this guy's dead. We'll cross him off the list. Hey, that's actually funny as hell. I love that context.
I honestly had no fucking idea that Devon V was fucking 28 years old.
Nah,
for all intents and purposes. You got to be fucking kidding me.
I'm gonna tell you this.
Maddie was like, well, it was a BYU thing. Maybe he went on a mission. I don't know how many people listen to the podcast. You should be. South Harmon Fantasy Football. Go listen to the fucking podcast. The 4D Chess podcast. All the other good ones we got on there.
Boy, Mike is on his shit today, boy.
I literally fucking said to Maddie on the podcast, spoiler alert, Maddie goes, he might have been on like that BYU mission thing. And I said, where was the fucking mission? To Mars? Like, did he have like a fucking? No.
It was right here. It was right here. Because that's a guy, Mike. That's a guy that never left. Like, you talk about a guy that no matter what, you know how you got homies, right? And eventually, you kind of get your homie kind of goes off the beaten path. You're like, all right, man, we gotta go get him. Like he's doing way too much. Imagine Vele at 27 still like, nah, I'm playing in the league next year, bro. Watch.
I do got a question to ask.
Okay.
This didn't come up with Maddie because I wasn't that drunk, but it'll definitely come up with you.
I was gonna say, now I know you're drunk. Now I know you're drunk because you took this to like a. Oh wait. I've been meaning to ask you about this. What's up?
I gotta ask you.
Yes.
If you're a 28-year-old fucking senior at BYU.
Yeah.
Like you're hitting on chicks that are fucking 10 years younger.
Yeah. I was gonna say, that's the mission he was on. Mike, you 28 and 18? That's a mission right there. It's a mission.
Do you think you could pull more of that Mormon puss?
Oh yeah. He's been around. He's really gotten mature over the years. He's like Jameis, you know. The crab legs, but that was the old Vele. Now it's like, Mike, you remember the movie? Now you know my brain is scrambled. That's a legendary movie. Van Wilder. It's Van Wilder right there. That's the exactly. Mormon Van Wilder. That's the BYU Van Wilder right there. I probably wasn't. I'm gonna tell myself that though. You know, that's why he kept trying to play football. You know.
Fantasy God said Vele's definitely a virgin.
Damn. Hey, but you know what? No, that's why I said at the end there. I'm like, I that could very well not be the case at all. But I'm gonna tell myself that just for the hell of it, you know, for the vibe.
28-year-old.
Nah, listen. Here's the truth though. Like somebody that is still pursuing that at 28 when you haven't made it is, bruh, you've caught every funny look from everybody that once used to believe or whatever, and that's tough, man. You get to 30, you're almost at 30. People are basically saying like, even if somehow you got the random unlikely call, you aren't even who you used to be. Like you get to that point, you know?
That's true. I went off on a fucking tangent. I completely forgot about this because I opened up Twitter. I was going to search some Devon V shit.
God,
we
might need to call this one. Mike's out here doing side missions himself.
I was doing side missions, and NBA Central, the Twitter account, had a post about Patrick Beverley leaving Tel Aviv. I guess he's playing in Israel.
Yeah, Tel Aviv. Right now. Yeah. They're a good overseas team.
It was something about he wants to leave because he's playing in Israel, but his wife or fiance or whatever is from Iran. And they put a picture of her. Holy fuck!
Oh, don't. I'm not going down that rabbit hole, man. I'm not going down that rabbit hole. I've been drinking too much. I'm gonna tell too many stories. I'm not doing that. Nope.
For everybody in the chat, just do yourself a favor.
Nope.
You want some feel goods? I want you to go Google Patrick Beverley's fiance.
All right.
Thank me later. I'll take the respect, the thanks, and the form of super chats. Even $1. Just lets me know that you did
it. This can go one of two ways. I'll paint the picture for both, and the good would be like, yeah, somehow we get angry Pat Bev on the show and it ends up being awesome. The bad is like the show. Like I'd love to have that shit too.
All right, we've gone like fucking 2 hours at this point.
Mike, first of all, this is how. Okay, pause. We are an hour and 26 minutes.
You know what time it is? It is 11:18 on the East Coast, and Eric Van Eck just put "yo" in the fucking chat.
That's because he.
Thanksgiving's tomorrow.
Well, that and. See, I think EV be listening, but he heard everything you were talking about with Pat Bev's girl, and he's like, okay, I can hop on this now. You know what I mean? All right, let's go, let's ride. Nah, EV, what's good, buddy? I think we should. Yeah, you've been drinking. First of all, when you let me go piss. If I have to piss, and you let me go piss, you think we're gonna go short now? 1, 2. And I guess I know you've been drinking because we normally we can go for forever. You thought we're going 2 hours. We're at an hour and 26. My man, I'm drinking too, but you are having a field day. I'll tell you this, the turkey's going to have a fun day with you too tomorrow if we keep this up. The gobble's going to be right in the back of the tickler, Dude,
I'm in love. I will fight Patrick Beverley.
Yeah,
I will fucking fight him.
Yeah, I won't have to fight you because we hey, y'all, I'll tell you this. I'm thankful for you. Love you. If this is the last this is our, our last hurrah, just know I'll always remember you, Yeah, we are cooked. I'm incapable of even ad-libbing at this point to get you back on track.
I could have been that 6 foot defensive scrappy
guard. See, this is exactly what I was talking about earlier. Nope. See, exactly what I was talking about earlier. Off the court too. See, if I did this and that. No.
Could have been me.
You know what? Yeah. Here, I'll tell you what. You want me to lie to you? Yeah, it could have been you. Hell yeah. Yeah.
It definitely could have been me. I'm scrappy.
Oh, yeah.
I could celebrate a play-in win like I just won a fucking championship. You know what I mean?
Hell no.
Hop on the fucking podium.
Hey, listen, EV. I'm gonna say this. Oh wow, dude, this would be fun as hell. Isn't that what this is though?
Yeah, it is. The night before. So
if we go ahead, please.
Let me ask you. In your younger days, your more youthful days.
This is where I was afraid we were going. Mm-hmm.
No, you're a bona fide family man now. 2 beautiful daughters, beautiful wife.
Hey, Mike got my daughter doesn't. Well, she's up late. We're supposed to be doing the trade show. She came down and wanted to talk. She's talking to the microphone to Uncle Mike, and she has a little the star thing that Mike got her for the room. Is to put stars up on the ceiling. It's a little projector. Yeah.
Little projector.
It's like the hologram projector, but a real one, that we put on the shows. But she loves that thing. So I always say, Uncle Mike got that for you. So she said, thanks, Uncle Mike, every now and then. She started saying that. So she came down and said hi. It was hilarious. She was like in shock, like she's seen a celebrity. She just, and we get to the top of the stairs. I'm trying to get her to bed already. One more time. She had to come down and say,
one more time.
but yeah, go ahead. Your younger days, so we'll pivot.
Well, you didn't even tell him what I bought your newborn. I gotta ask, did she ever wear it? Did you ever put it on her?
Buddy, listen.
No.
I meant to tell you about this. I wasn't going to, but since you, listen, hand-me-downs actually are a great thing, right? Like,
motherfucker.
Like if you think I know I'm in a low place, but if you think I'm low enough to where I'm gonna put my daughter in her early years in that Iowa, like, damn, like.
All right, for those of you at home, when Adam had his newborn, I bought him a Iowa.
No, we did put it in. We did put her in a couple times.
What the fuck? You didn't take a picture and send it?
Buddy, listen. This is one thing we want to talk about younger days. We'll pivot back to that. Fizz was on his show, Mike, back when so you didn't have phones that had the capability right now, right? And in general, like, bro, I was never thinking ever of taking a picture when I was young. The only ones I got was if, somebody brought a camera, probably a girl or whatever, right? Like, I'm still to this day, like, my wife takes all the time. It's not that I wouldn't think to, it's not that I don't think, I don't know. I don't ever think I need to. It's like someone else always does it, and they typically don't actually, because Mike never got the picture.
So when Adam was blessed with his second daughter, I bought her an Iowa onesie, which it's to be determined whether she's actually worn that thing or not.
You have to ask my wife. No, she wore it, but I will say it was almost return to sender for sure.
But my first niece, Aubrey, deserved a present too, so I got her a nice projector. It's got stars, the galaxy.
Talk to him, EV.
Bluetooth speaker. Yeah, you can put a little.
I will admit that shit's clean too.
Little meditation on it, put her night. So, no, to see her tonight like that warmed my heart, man. I miss Aubrey. Oh God, I miss Aubrey so much, man. She's such a fucking sweetheart. All those times where I used to stay at Adam's house during the expo week for a day or two extra on one end or the other, and get to play with my niece Aubrey. yeah. Don't worry.
It was fun.
He had to put up with me the fact that my room is in the middle between his and his wife's and Aubrey's.
I was gonna say,
and I know I snore like a motherfucker.
Oh yeah, bro. The good news is, see, the thing was, my younger days that you're talking about, I would have probably came in there, hey, motherfucker, get your ass up, dude. That was you came over. Go ahead, but you came over. She was a newborn then, bro. I'm sleeping anywhere and everywhere.
Eric,
I was gonna say. I said, talk to him, EV. Come on, man. Tell him if you think I'm out here taking pictures. I should send this to Mike.
All right. So back in your younger days, did you do anything? Was there a thing on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving? Wednesday.
Oh, are you serious? Hell yeah! It was the night. The night. Well, granted, I used to treat a lot of them like the night. Yeah. Oh yeah. So I never told you
something special. It was almost like a holiday within a holiday.
No, it was, bro. You never heard? Oh, this is actually it's funny you asked me this question, or I don't know if you heard this one. Did I tell you this one, bro? So the night before Thanksgiving, and all of the Browns snuck out of the house. There's a place called Barley House, right, in Cleveland. So they actually really did this is 2014, okay? So back then, they were starting to try to revitalize the city, but it was really when LeBron came back in 2016 that they started to really get more here. And there was only a handful of spots you really wanted to go out. Barley was the spot in Cleveland, right? So go out. Hey, man, I used to get bottle service in there a lot. Let me just say, the entire bottle service section did not exist that night because that was reserved for the Cleveland Browns. I shit you not. Just think about this, though. I'm going to give you it's funny that you asked me this question, and I can give you a parallel with football to it. Dog, this is, Mike, you know what? Teams are vying for playoff spots, my guy. The Browns sucked that year, okay? But let me tell you what was crazy as hell still. So my dude Eric, he's my guy Eric is he is, you'd have to meet him to understand him. He's awesome. Literally one of my favorite people, but he's so excited with the Browns being there kind of not realizing like they probably don't give a fuck about us at all. Actually, I know they don't, right? So Joe Hayden's trying to like get his girl through this crazy crowd of people, you know, trying to like help her get to the bathroom. And Eric like goes to like dap him up like he's just gonna, you know, say what's up. Man, he stiff armed the shit out of my guy to the ground. I'll just say this too. Josh Gordon is smoking fucking weed out of a hookah.
My man.
That I think that was the year too. I don't know if you remember this. At the end of the year, pretty sure Hayden got suspended for Adderall. They had multiple people on the team be late for the plane when they were leaving. That Browns team was a shit show, but that was a fun night. They were out and ready that night, my friend. Yes, sir.
One of my favorite stories also revolves around this night.
Okay? Oh boy, good or bad?
So I'll set it. About 10, 12 years ago, me and my wife had just started dating, and I moved to Dubuque.
Okay.
I took a job at a call center type fucking place or whatever, doing short-term disability management. Right, that's what it was. But one of the guys I started with, Dan from Bellevue, me and Dan became pretty good friends, working next to each other.
Dan from Bellevue, that sounds just like Iowa. Yep.
Dan from Bellevue, Iowa.
Love it.
So me and Dan got pretty good friends. One time he invited me down.
Yes, Greg Little was driving fucking a dude's car from North Carolina.
Holy shit.
Marv, what's his name? He ended up going really early. I can't think of it now. I'll pull it up. Go ahead. I don't mean to cut you off.
So Dan invites me down to Bellevue, which is a small town. But on Wednesday night, they throw this massive, and I mean fucking massive. They take it seriously, like super seriously. This beer pong tournament. It's every fucking Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Massive. The American Legion in the basement. There's like 300 fucking people in this fucking place playing beer pong. Right, this big beer pong tournament.
Mm-hmm.
He introduces me to a guy he graduated with.
How many people is this thing? It's kind of packed.
Yeah, the whole fucking basement is.
I'm just trying to get the visual. Visuals are big for me. It sounds like it's a crazy night. All right.
Iowa fucking country boys. Yeah, whatever.
This is the spot to be at. Yeah. Uh-huh.
He introduces me to the guy who puts it all on, who he went to high school with and graduated with.
Damn, he's introducing to the big people. I love this. Yeah.
The big people. And I mean big, Adam.
Now, I get
for you degenerates, you may remember this. Do you remember? This is a while ago, but you and I, University of Northern Iowa, upset number 1 Kansas.
Hell yeah.
In the tournament. Ali Faroukmanesh.
Buddy, I had money on him.
The center on that team, Jordan Eggleseder, Dan and him are like best friends.
Oh, word? Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Mike, I'm telling you might not believe me. I don't have the time anymore, but I followed college basketball. I don't know. I didn't meet him. I remember the name and watched them quite a bit that year. Yeah.
The only thing Jordan
you never told me that. That's kind of crazy. Okay.
The only thing Jordan does better than fucking basketball is, I mean, Jordan is a big dude. He was a 7'1", 7 foot, like however you wanted to put it. He was the center. He guarded Cole Aldrich.
Aldrich, yep.
Game.
Yep. People didn't realize that about like there was that was a misnomer. People didn't really understand when they played. Not that they were supposed to be in the game, but more so like, oh, they got a big dude. More you're thinking these guys are going to be small, right?
Nope. Jordan's a big motherfucker, right?
Huge.
So he introduces me to Jordan. The only thing Jordan does better than basketball is play beer pong, and he takes it super seriously. He puts on this whole fucking tournament every goddamn Wednesday. Every Wednesday before Thanksgiving, he puts this whole thing on, organizes the whole thing.
I might have fucked it up for you, dude, because I would have been drinking, trying to get competitive with him. Like, let's talk shit.
Anyways, we're playing Jordan.
It's crazy.
Dan and I are partners playing Jordan. Jordan's taking this shit seriously. Jordan is talking shit to Dan. Dan's talking shit back.
Let's go.
And Dan goes, we should put something else on the fucking line. And mind you, this whole time I've been dog shit. Like, I'm fucking terrible. Dan's the GOAT. Carrying the fucking team. Okay, I'm terrible. He goes, this is what we're gonna do. Remind you, this is Thanksgiving time in Iowa, and it is kind of like it is right now. It's about like 15 fucking degrees outside.
Nah, this is when
Dan goes, the loser of this game has to go outside, and in Bellevue, Iowa, the train tracks run right through the middle of town. Like right through the fucking dead center of town. The loser of this game has to go out and put their nutsack
on the
on the fucking train track.
That's just gonna be cold as hell too. Gonna be cold as ice.
Right. Jordan starts talking shit back to him and goes, "There ain't no fucking way you're gonna beat me." Now, for any of you,
he a real country dude. That's hilarious. I love this.
Jordan is talking to him in such an animated voice, like while he's talking and saying, "Bet, that's a fucking bet. We'll do it." Dan bounces the one in. There's 2 cups left. He bounces one in.
That was it.
Scored 2 cups. Fucking game over.
So literally, the bet, the double cup death. We're going to put your nuts on the. That's actually gas. That's hilarious.
So we take him and his partner out to the
crazy.
fucking track. And Dan comes out with a fucking like bucket of water, and he goes, "You have to dip your nuts in."
No, that's too much. Y'all were wet. Y'all were super fucking lit.
So Jordan, 7-foot dude, Jordan dips his balls in.
Him even trying to get his balls. That's an athletic feat for him to even try to find a way to contort his body to do this.
Dips his balls in water, and then bends over and puts his nutsack on the fucking on the steel track.
Man,
literally had to pry them off. Like I've seen this dude. By the way, shout out to Jordan.
Y'all never saw Dumb and Dumber, like with the tongue? Come on, man.
No Diddy. Jordan at 7 foot, like fits the bill. You know what I mean? Like fucking strong like bull.
Okay, I just needed the. I could see that going a few different ways. I was looking for the adjective or the description. Okay, thank you.
Like strong like bull. You know what I mean? Like, god damn.
Like I do. I wasn't sure everybody else was on par.
But puts his nuts on the track. Right.
Hey, so now you know when Mike's telling you that he's putting his nuts on the line, he means that shit. You know what I mean?
Oh, I've seen nuts on the fucking line.
That's crazy.
His partner had to like help him pry them off the fucking. You know what I mean? They were like stuck on there. So there's my Wednesday before Thanksgiving story. Like sack on the track, Bellevue, Iowa. That was a real thing. Sack on the track.
You know what's so that's funny as hell. I will tell you, man. All right, so playing like basketball all the time, I feel like there was what was it like? Basically, I don't want to say this is exactly how it is, but it feels like a lot of times like the crazy country dudes, and I love those dudes. They're like when they get real drunk, they're looking to just kind of fuck some shit up. They go to kind of just fuckery, like instead of like there's you go to like I'm not saying I believe me. I've been down the crazy roads. I haven't seen that, but I've seen the.
We do
2-3 hours after like peak drunk is like somebody either gets really hurt or does something dumb. You're like, man, what the fuck are we doing out here? Like, what the hell? I was always like, that was one of the things I've definitely been down those crazy paths. But I'm like, what the hell are we doing? I was always trying to like see if I could, end up if I'm gonna miss my shot, it's gonna be like trying to get Pat Bev's future girl. Like if all right, fuck it, like that. If I miss, I miss. But Mike, here's the thing. What if I hit? Because I don't know. I've just, dude, the same thing in like in the like you be in the bars, right, in the club, trying to get on and get drunk, and next thing you know, you kind of like get shoved. You're getting shoved into somebody. My bad. And then next thing you know, you got 10 people. Now these guys, they've been looking to fight since 10 o'clock. They weren't even drunk. They wanted to fight. Now they all want to fight. Come on, man. What the hell's going on? Like that's hilarious though. So let me ask you this about the. That was the other thing too for me there's always you got to go to the next extreme. Like, all right, he's not just putting his ball. You put that water on there, like looking for this man to be in pain. So how long was he? That had to fucking suck for him. Did he get off right away? How'd you get it off?
15 degrees. All right,
night,
the
bro.
The freeze is
fucking crazy for that. That's hilarious.
The freeze is instantaneous. So his partner had to help him.
Hell no.
Remove his
Admit,
testicles.
I don't bitch out on almost anything. I probably would have been out on that once the water came out. Nah, y'all can have this.
I was gonna say maybe you're out on like being the partner. Like I ain't fucking up.
Oh yeah, well I'll call. Hey, man, he's on the tracks. There could be a train. You got to get here quick. That's how I would have helped. No, I'm just playing. I'm listening.
He helped slowly peel the thing.
God.
No,
man. No, I shouldn't ask this question. See, the same thing I just talked about. Like, I don't know. What kind of good do I think is coming out of this? What am I asking this question for? That's awesome. You know what? I like the SFX of that too. Dude, I was gonna say that would have been pay-per-view, as to E's point.
I'm glad it wasn't me.
What I was gonna say, there was a comment. Now there was a comment up though. Could Bronny James average 10 in Division 2? So like
easily.
Yeah, well he would. But the difference between D3 to D2 to D1, honestly, Mike, from a Fantasy God, from a skill level standpoint, there's a jump. But like D3 to D2, there's a jump because of scholarship money. At least, actually, you know what's crazy, Mike? You know how old I am? Nowadays, the whole game's changed. Motherfuckers getting paid $10 million to go play at Michigan. So getting the scholarships, I don't even care about the degree I'm trying to get. So the game's changed. But the D2 jumps a little better. But really, all it is all the way up the line is it's bigger, faster, stronger, right? So the D3 kids, like, fuck around and have a field day on them because they can't do shit with me. I played App State. I'm going to give them all a bunch of buckets, but guess what? I'm earning them motherfuckers. And I'm not going to have, like, I'm not getting my way done how I want to, with everything. I'm going to have to find a way to get to my spot and shoot contested shots. So Bronny, just from an athletic standpoint, would have his way with 80% of the D2 teams. So, yeah, he'd average 10 dunks probably in D2. You know what I mean? Like it'd be Now I get your point, but like with I can see where you're going with this, but nah, I concede on that. Look like stuck going.
It's fun to make fun of him when his competition is NBA level talent. You know what I mean? You're like,
wait,
junk.
Hold on. UMO. Missouri? Who's UMO?
I don't know.
I'm thinking. I thought it was like UOENO or Uno, like what? Michigan. It's gonna be probably a school in the middle of, you know who?
Mount Olive.
Mount Olive. Hey, yo, I gave Mount. They were in Lees McRae's conference. I gave Mount Olive 28 on like senior night, buckets, bro. So get this right. Lees McRae, sorry as hell, right? So they schedule. Sorry, not senior night, church night. Okay, so get this. Now Mount Olive. I'll give you some real facts. Mount Olive pickles. If you haven't had them, go get them. They're at your stores. Fire. They come from there. Now they wanted to give you pickles. I gave them, in a loss, a big pickle. Let me just tell you that right now. All right. So, Mike, in college, to your question earlier, especially as the season would progress, start wanting to win because we're not winning on. I'm getting buckets, but we're not winning on the course. I'm looking to my mindset's just winning off the court. All right. So I'm kind of more and more like what's going on in the social life, whatever, going out to the clubs. Let me just tell you, 4:00 church night. So they have big, huge church gatherings at this place, and then they have a sold out game during the day on Sunday, right? And they always would set it up for like Lees McRae, right? So we're gonna have a field day on these guys. Everyone's gonna gather and watch us feast on them. So man, I'm out there, Brody. I'm talking tore up. I remember we were at this fucking Walmart in the middle of nowhere. I'm looking like, can I get you talk about the Red Bull days now. I'm looking for a Red Bull, a 5-hour energy. Like, I am struggling. I slept the whole way there, tore up, still hungover. So we're getting beat. We're getting beat in the first half. Right about halftime, they're up like, I don't know, 20. They end up beating us. But somebody starts talking some shit, like, out of nowhere at the free throw line right before half. Just enough to piss me off. And I'm talking about pissed off. I'm like 25 in the second half on them dudes. 25 in the second half on church night, and they still beat us though. Unfortunately, that's the best I got. But I know the school. I've never. But I'll say this: I played them twice a year. I could tell you players that played for them. I have never actually seen someone type, or I guess he didn't say it. I've never seen it UMO. So interesting. Mount Olive.
He corrected it. He actually meant University of Maine.
Oh, damn. Okay. Well, that was a side tangent as hell. I thought it really was. Damn, Mount Olive.
Most famous basketball alumni from University of Maine.
So Maine, Mike, I didn't even go up there to visit. It's 16 hours away. Do you have to start? It's by the way, they are the Black Bears. Famous player? Really?
Most famous player from Maine.
Basketball? What?
Yes, sir.
The Maine Black Bears? No. Well, I don't know how high we're at. Give me an era.
1984.
I was gonna say, yeah. That I was gonna guess it's got to be, but just before my time because I got no fucking clue.
Rick Carlisle.
No, he went. I didn't know he went to Maine. Okay, there you go.
Rick Carlisle.
I'll tell you this though: a lot of really great coaches played ball, and I talked about this on Players and Coaches on Highly Detailed. They actually weren't like good enough to be him, but they understand the game really well because they had to play at a different level. What's up? Listen, man, and here's the thing: if T-Rock says they're good, by golly, Mike, we ain't got a super chat. Well, fuck it, we got a winner, baby. Come on, Mount Olive. What's up?
Rick Carlisle. How many points did he average in the NBA before he became coach?
He scored just enough to get his way to, what did he? I mean, nothing, right?
2.2.
I was gonna guess 1, but that felt like just it would have actually kind of close.
He was at a bucket a game.
You know what's crazy is when you see people don't really understand this if you haven't played. If you average to a game, what that means was you either weren't supposed to shoot and play, like you probably weren't supposed to shoot, but just were in the game enough that you had to get like a bucket here and there just out of randomness. You know what I mean? Like a layup putback, or somebody just left you wide open. They anticipated you going down to the block and you just end up being open for a jumper. Like, I guess I gotta shoot this. Coach, as it's on its way up. No. All right, get back.
Hey,
damn.
Give me your last year's stat line. What was your points per game average?
I got, so get this, 15-6. And 15-6, but I'll tell you this. So Lees McRae, Mike, the year before I got there, they had 2 wins, literally 2 wins in the season. My first year there, so I transferred after, it was my junior year that I went there, okay? We won 3 games that year, and I averaged double digits. I came off the bench, though, buddy. Like, there was so much shit that was just bad. Now, we didn't clean it up a lot, but it started to go the right direction. We got to 6. We were actually 3-1, beat Mount Olive is on my mind. North Greenville, at North Greenville. Like, I was hurt. I had 32 points on 14 shots, but I averaged 15-6, which the point I was going to get to was really started actually getting the team and the culture kind of turned around. They actually ended up winning the conference, which was impossible. At this point, no one had been like even considered. Like, we won 6 games my senior year, and I made all conference. So to give you an idea of like, those coaches vote for that. So the fact that they're voting for anybody on Lees McRae was like, more of a sign of they couldn't check me, but we was going to lose. That's all that was. Like, we were going to lose. We were going to lose, man. We were going to lose.
That was in, what, D2 ball?
D2, yeah. So it was 2011 at Lees McRae College, yep. They actually got a nice little squad now. They call them Dunk Mountain, Mike. Dunk Mountain.
Dunk Mountain. I'll give you my
they got some high flyers. Go ahead.
I'll give you my final one for basketball.
We got
26-2.
You had 2 points like Rick Carlisle? That's legit. Well, hold on, but what 26-2?
I didn't pass. Yeah, 2 assists.
I was gonna say, well, give me the boards. Give me something.
Nah, I barely got any boards. I'm fucking 6 foot, bro.
Oh, you going? Oh, but here's the thing, Mike. See, this is how I know. Now 26 is. I'll tell you this. Somebody let you chuck. here's the thing. They didn't have to let me chuck because you know how you get more shots? I'm going up on the board. I'm going up to the glass, baby. Let me get that glass. That's nice, though.
Hey,
what's up?
Only white boy on the whole team.
I know.
Deep.
Well, Mike, it's funny. As I was going to tell you, I had, buddy, when I was playing with a lot of inner city kids and black kids and stuff, they're always like looking at me like they're looking for me to do. I felt like all the time that crazy story that you were talking about would like, see, man, you gonna do some. But I was not actually that guy. Like,
no.
And don't get me wrong, they weren't actually incorrect. It was just I'm not really looking to tear it up in that. No. That wasn't my cup of tea. But they are not wrong. And
left
I would
corner,
get to what's that?
Butter.
Left. Oh,
left
you were corner 3, huh? What's his name? The college announcer. He's on the old game from the corner. What's the hell is the guy's name? From the corner. Damn, he's a good announcer too. Really, why the corner?
Why? Because that's where I stood.
Okay.
Get the fuck out of the way.
Hey, put him on game, man. Hey, listen, man. You go. I like this.
Our point guard, my sophomore year of high school. Last year I played. He averaged 32. Could fucking listen. Kyrie is that dude, right? But if you want to go to like high school, you want to go to like high school level, he was that dude where it was like you could not stay in front of him no matter what you did.
He's a bucket.
So of course, oh boy, break him down off the fucking drill, drive the paint.
Did you create for zone? Okay.
Kick out. I had one job. Come off screens, stand in the corner. Sorry, 2 jobs.
Man, Mike played for Bill Belichick. You had one job.
That's it.
Damn, okay.
Just knock him down.
Hey.
Just knock him down. It's
simple.
The only reason I got on the fucking court. I couldn't play defense for shit. Shout out Marcus Monk, Malik Monk's older brother. Malik Monk, you guys know, still in the NBA. Nope. Marcus Monk played at what do you want to call it? An Eastern Arkansas school that we played against.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of it. East, whatever the fuck it was. Marcus Monk put me in the paper for not a good reason. I don't know if I've ever told that story. I may have told it to you, Adam, but I'll tell it to the people. First ever. So
that whole thing with on the tracks, he got it on your face in front of people, huh? Damn.
First ever start. I was a sophomore. Damn, I'm starting. Like got noticed right before the game. Marcus Monk on the scouting report.
Oh, word. Unexpected. Hey, Mike, let's go. Damn.
PJ Collier on the scouting report. PJ Collier went on to play D1 at Colorado. Marcus Monk, I think he may have played basketball at Arkansas, but he went on to be a wide receiver. He also played in the NFL.
Marcus could hoop, man.
Marcus
he wasn't as good, but he was athletic as he wasn't as talent as like skilled. Let me say he wasn't as skilled.
6'5", 6'6", somewhere in that range.
He was a tweener. Yeah.
First ever start. Those 2 dudes are on the board.
You didn't know. What's so funny is now you didn't know who the hell he was, right? But he just like I'm good.
Didn't give a fuck. Tip off comes. PJ Collier gets the ball, half court. He does like this motion. I'm thinking to myself as I'm under the rim.
Wait, give me that motion again. Damn.
I'm like, why is he shooting from half court? What the fuck is going on? Out of the corner of my eye.
You didn't think this was Marcus? Is the Harlem Globetrotters?
Here comes Marcus. Just nuts in my face.
Yeah.
Just nuts in my face. Just fucking half court alley-oop right in my fucking his balls. Literally, I could probably still taste them.
Oh, I'm sure. I think if Fizz was here, he'd put you on game. That was really when Meek Mill there's levels to this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
there's levels to this shit.
It was fuck. Yeah.
Balls.
Bam.
Shout out to his younger brother too, man. Much better NBA prospect.
Malik
was
had
a lottery pick.
Yeah, Malik had a very well-rounded guard game.
Just a walking bucket. But yeah, Marcus was the dude, man. I think he played for the Jaguars for a couple of years.
You know what's crazy is can I tell you the truth? I knew he played ball. I think I knew he played football. I don't think I had any idea that he went to the NFL, to be real.
He didn't. I think he was on the. He might have played in a few games in the NFL.
I'll tell you what.
Was that fucking dude?
Yeah, he. Well, dude, them dudes were athletes though. Let's see, Carolina Panthers, and he went to the Giants. That was probably where his RIP. Let's see. Speaking of the Giants, so 7th round, he actually got drafted by the Bears in 2008, baby. Damn.
Listen,
bro, you know what's crazy? Do you think about that though? That means he got a 4-year deal, bro. That's crazy.
I used to be a pretty big Arkansas Razorbacks fan. Shout out to anybody in the chat who's still an Arkansas Razorbacks fan.
Until that happened.
But back in the glory days, right? Like he was on there, big wide receiver.
Cooper Flagg. If you don't know, if you haven't seen him, Mike, have you seen? This dude is outrageous. By the way, our high school, he ended up transferring. Had Mike, and I'll tell you where I played. Like I went to a Christian school, a small. I'll let you finish. But we ended up having a kid that was at CVCA he's gonna be in the league. He's a top 10 kid. He's unreal. Go ahead.
Marcus, like I used to be a big fan of the Arkansas Razorbacks. I've told this story before. My first ever like keeper pick, pseudo dynasty, Matt Jones. Quarterback from Arkansas.
He played with McFadden probably one year.
Yeah, I think he had one crossover year. Yep, with Darren McFadden, Felix Jones too.
Felix, yeah,
that was Cowboys' first round pick.
Oh yeah.
I mean the Arkansas Razorbacks team at that time was like that was the shit. You know what I mean? Like,
dude, I'll tell you, I love watching them for 100% with you.
They also had that. The overtime rules in college now are a lot different.
Yes.
What is it? After the second overtime, you go to
second overtime. You got to go for
2-point shootout, whatever the fuck it is.
Them overtimes could go for a day.
The back in the day, the Arkansas Razorbacks, I think they had 2 different 7 overtime games.
Yeah,
like full on overtime.
Bro, you know what's crazy?
25.
When you're a kid. Like right with nothing to do the next day, that is straight electricity watching them overtimes go back and forth. Like,
hey man, fuck you, T-Rock. I may have stuck my tongue out for that. Just nuts on the face.
Now I won't do it for you. All right, how's that?
Yeah. Fucking asshole.
I mean, listen, man. It's you play. I'll tell you this: if you played and didn't get dunked on by somebody good, that means you didn't make it to even get dunked on.
You didn't play.
You got your ass left at home. Got cut from the junior varsity team. You know.
Highlights of my basketball career, Adam: stand in the corner, come off screens, shoot the 3.
Listen,
that was pretty much it.
Can I tell you though? Actually, so what's funny is, hold up. Nah, listen, fantasy god Cooper Flagg is a fucking problem, and I love to see it. You know, McCaffrey looks like he's getting older. We got Cooper Flagg coming up. Let's go, baby. We still good. We cooking. Mike, to the point you're making though. So this is what's really
Cooper DeJean, Riley Moss, Cooper Flagg. What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive.
Cooper DeJean actually had some highlights. I think a lot of guys that you might not expect have some highlights in high school. Because here's the point I was going to make though about that right there. Right. One of the bigger problems you have in college, especially at a bad culture team like Lee's McRae, or somebody that just you have a coach that isn't good with people, doesn't know how to handle and like, especially in defining roles, Mike. Because guess what you have coming into college? Everybody was at their little ass school or big school, wherever they were all him. They were all, I averaged 15, I average whoever. Everybody now is a gunner. So you know what you can't have is, like for example, on that team that when I went there.
Yeah.
So they won 2 games the year before I got there. In my head, I'm like, well, I mean, already it was like, listen, you're going to have to make me pass the ball. That's just the way I was. I'm like, they won 2 games? I mean, we're going to lose, but fuck it. I'll go chuck it over there, you know? So I go to open gym pull up, right? And I'm thinking, these dudes going to be sorry. I'm just going to have what you saw with Marcus, I'm going to be doing to them all day. Man, I opened the door. My guy, Steve Hamer, one of my best friends. By the way, we have to have him on the Vibes channel at some point. He will talk to you. He will give you some you're asking the old questions. He can tell a story like none other. He'll give you some funny ass shit. But the first thing I see is him off 2 feet, one bounce, hardly stepped into it, windmill, just yeah. I'm like, huh? 2 games? What the hell? He's got transfer? Who is this guy? You know? And then like I'm looking, they had talent everywhere. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna act like we were the most talented team in the league, but not far off. They were very much there.
Yeah.
But guess what happens? He started losing. Coach doesn't have things defined. All of a sudden, now it's, Slim, Sean Harden. Shout out to Sean Harden. I know he definitely ain't watching this, from Delaware. Slim come off the bench, and we've been losing. Guess what? He got a 17-point game. All right. Now, you know what Slim's doing every game, next game? And the next game? And chucking that bitch. Like,
chucking.
It's to have people at the higher levels as you push up be willing to your point, like, he sounds like you're being pretty open. Like, I didn't have to, it was very clear. I didn't have to be willing to, but like, you got to have people take roles. And I think that's one of the things about the game in general. I'm hoping to see continue to get better at the higher levels is a lot of these kids, they don't play together. And everybody wants to have the ball in their hands. So
right.
That's when you see some of these teams where they're all the talent in the world, but like, shit, they stink. Well, yeah. I mean, there's only one ball, and everybody can't only chuck. And it's a 5-man game, and while it's not that big of a team relative to like football, you gotta have you have 1 or 2 like problems and cancers, guys not happy. Shit can go south quick, man.
For sure, buddy. That's why shout out to Pat Bev. Played defense.
Pat Bev. Listen, I hate Draymond. I really, really don't like Draymond Green. I'll tell you that. But I will tell you, he's the reason he has a job and ended up making far more than he ever should, and having the platform he has is when the moments were right, he did. Like, people probably forget in that game versus the Cavs in the finals, dude's out here hitting threes, had 32 points. Like, huh? You looking out? But he also knew, all right, man, the way I'm gonna have this team win is like, I guess you maybe call it a plus version of Dennis Rodman. I'm gonna play that role. And most people, you can still win and be a great player, but nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to, be that guy. They all want to chuck.
All want to chuck, man. Shout out to the people who want to chuck. I want to chuck from drinking.
I was gonna say, are you gonna make it tomorrow?
Yeah, it's time to wrap this baby up, Adam.
Oh, wow.
I'm drunk. I gotta pee.
Wait, hold on. I didn't even know you were drinking. Hey, T-Rock, you know what? I will say, I wasn't actually talking to you, but that is true. I guess I was actually talking to you. Oh, shout out to T-Rock. I've been drinking this Baker's he got me. I've been cutting back, but man, I'll tell you one thing, buddy. I haven't been cutting back the last 2 weeks. I haven't been cutting back as much anymore. I popped that Baker's and I'm like, damn, T-Rock knows his shit, don't he? Where is T-Rock anyway, man? That's what I think every time I'm drinking.
Shout out to T-Rock too. That Oyo honey vanilla bean. It's called National.
I'm telling you.
National.
I'm telling you, T-Rock. If T-Rock gives you, if you get the T-Rock stamp of approval,
you're good.
Like, you're going to have to do some things to fuck it up. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like you got a clear pathway, right? Like, you've been clear for takeoff. Just don't get in your own way,
Maddie was telling me last night when he stayed with Cody Carpentier.
Okay.
He had that honey vanilla bean.
Oh, where?
He had that Oyo.
See? What that means, and that's code for those that are maybe don't know. That means like, oh yeah, like it made it. If Cody's got it, like Cody. One thing is that we haven't got to kick it since he joined, but Cody will get after it. Cody and I, or Cody and anybody, gonna have a fun time, right? So we're gonna, we might have to get that. Speaking of pause, that bean, we might have to,
Shout out Columbus, Ohio. Oyo. Honey vanilla bean.
Yeah, man. Columbus, Ohio. Ohio State. That's about an Oyo now,
We are about like 3 seconds from me pissing on the floor.
Hey, speaking of which, yeah, they do have a pickle festival. I would like to have a pickle festival with y'all, but Mike's gonna show his pickle if I don't cut the stream off. I'll be honest, I've done this before. If I was in hadn't slept at all, literally I have not slept a wink for the last night, I'd test the McNutted limits. But today, I'll be honest with you, man. It's but here's what I'll say. For 151 people at this point still watching, I want you to know what we haven't said. We love the hell out of you. I am thankful for you. I'm about to record a drunken video to let you know at fucking 12:02 while Mike's getting ready to take a piss. Make sure you're tapping in. If you like this stuff, you're going to love South Harmon vibes. I'll put the link down in the description. But here's a little promo video for it. Mike versus Fizz. We're going to see what Mike does, speaking of standing in the corner, you know?
Got him. I'm going to kill him. No mercy.
That's a preview of the set.
It's a preview.
Because I apparently can't find the fucking video. This Black Friday.
Let's go, baby. Give me Hayes. Hayes never failed, baby.
All right, Mike. You get to pick any question. Touchdown for 6 points. Field goal for 3 points. Extra point for 1. And obviously the 2-point conversion for 2.
Let's go Christmas NFL. We'll start it off. We'll ease it in. We'll dip our toes into it.
Mike knocked out the quick, extra easy, extra point. Fizz, your turn to answer, man. What you going to go with on your turn?
We're going to go for 3, baby. You know what I'm saying? We're going for Steph Curry range out here. Matter of fact, Brandon Aubrey range.
Which category you want?
We're going to go Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? That's coming up. Let's go Thanksgiving. Turkey Day.
Fizz, I thought.
Come on.
Uh-oh. We got the lightning round. Lightning round. Each one of you guys gets 1 minute. Name as many players as you can. Pick your era. 80s, 90s, 2000s.
Let's go. Like Jaden Daniels, game on the line. Need that Hail Mary. Go 2000s, baby.
I'm from the mean streets of D.C., baby. You know what I'm saying? We going 80s. Huh?
McNutted versus Fizzle Dollars. This Black Friday on the new South Harmon Vibes YouTube channel.